Hi there, it's Keri Mesropov, president of TRG, and I am fresh from this week's TRG 30, where we talked about the importance of distribution channels for our programming. And we learned about how important it has become in the last 8 weeks to deliver our content, our programming digitally. Boy, has that just moved at lightning speed. We had a question on our chat today during TRG 30 from an executive who said, "We are expanding digitally and it won't go back, right? Question mark. And what I want to say to you from TRG is that no, it won't go back, and it shouldn't go back. At TRG, we have proven the importance of creating and statements in our patrons' experience ledger. And the more a patron does, the more loyal they become to our organization. We at TRG have long studied that, have proven that. And being able to deliver programming, art, content digitally to our patrons is just another way we can create those and statements for our patrons, and they will become more loyal, become more deeply invested in our organization. So no, we're not going back. We have to seize this moment to do things that create more loyalty amongst our patrons, and digitally delivered content, it does that. We learned today from TRG that a relatively small amount of revenue comes from new audiences. So we see a boatload of new audiences every year in terms of people, but the revenue that they deliver to our organization is relatively small.